Miss Ann, can you kind of give us an overview on the organization that you're with? For we have a couple of employees and a couple of donor moms on here.
Okay, I belong to the Ozone Layers Quilt Guild, and it's just a group of 50 women that actually it's a chartered organization that is about 35 years old. So it's been around for a while, and they belong to an even greater group called the Gulf States Quilt Association. That's 4 states, but locally we meet once a month, and we do a lot of community service projects. We do things just for ourselves, and we're not a teaching group. You know, you don't join the Quilt Guild to learn how to quilt. You need to know how to sew and quilt, you know, before you come to us. So I guess I've been in it over 10 years, and I've held almost every office, and I've really enjoyed it. It's, you know, it's a lot of fun. Somebody warned me about joining women's groups, and yeah, that was a good warning, but you know how we can get. But for the most part, we all get along really well. They have retreats, you know, where they'll go to a place for 3 or 4 nights, and there are a couple of houses that are set up as retreat houses. So that's kind of going on right now.
A donor mom. Jonathan passed away 3 years ago. He had a traumatic brain injury, and we were able to donate 6 of his organs. It was in June of 2019. So at Christmas time, I decided to get the information on how to do a quilt square. So I did 2 of them, one for LOPA and one for the Southern Eye Bank. Unfortunately, I didn't really read the directions that well, but because of the update on the new one, I had to redo this one to make it a little bit smaller, because, and I decided not to put a border around it. So this is a 9x9 square. And when you go out and buy your material, you get a light colored material, whatever y'all want, either the white, cream, light pastel color. Make sure you wash it. And when you're ready, you cut out your square, either 9x9 or 10x10. If you want to give them a little leeway, make it 10x10. Go ahead and pick out pictures that you want. Okay, and so once you have your material, you iron it to get all the wrinkles out, and then you measure out your 8x8 square with the markers, the invisible ink marker. And then once you're finished with that, then you get your pictures laid out on how you want it on your frame, on your quilt frame. And then once you have your pictures ready, make a copy on just plain paper. And then you can take your invisible, I should say invisible, your ink paper. I'm trying to think, where's the directions? What's it called? Oh, press, print and press, transfer paper. And once you get that ready, you put it in your printer, and the paper has a purple line on it. So when you put it in your printer, you make sure that purple line is facing up. So when you get ready to print your pictures, it'll come out with the pictures just like it is right here on the screen. And then once you have it all done, then you cut it, and then you center it on your quilt square. And then once you decide how you have it done, put it down on your ironing board, set your iron to high cotton, make sure it's empty of all water, because you don't want any kind of water in it, because it'll ruin the transfer. You iron it in a circle for about 60 to 90 seconds. and then let it dry for a couple of minutes. And once it's cooled down, then you just peel the transfer paper off, and then you'll have your transfer of your pictures. And then you can fool around with how you want your patches or your ribbons or whatever, and go ahead and sew those down. And then get your marker, which is just a non-washable fabric marker that you can pick up. I bought mine from Walmart, and just write your loved one's name, the date that they passed, the day that they're born, the day they passed, and that's about it. And then once you finish with that, then you go back and take your washcloth and just dab around your quilt square to get rid of the blue lines, and then you're ready for them to be sent, so that the ladies can put the quilt squares together. I just found that you have to get good quality pictures. Don't try and get anything too dark. These are pictures that I had. The other squares that I made, I had a little bit blue into the background, so it kind of showed up a little bit better. But it's very simple to do. I didn't make any kind of mistakes on it. Well, I did the first time because I had something in writing, and when you put the pictures down, the transfer will be all reversed. So if you have anything with writing on it, it'll come out backwards. So make sure you don't have any writing, because it will be backwards. So
if you're intimidated by the picture transfer, you don't have to do that, because if you look at this one, there are a lot of them that don't have pictures.
Right.
Like this one right here has it's embroidered, and it's got a football, and it says Saints, and it's just got the person's initials. And then this is a counted cross stitch, and it's some sort of a knot. I'm not familiar with this, but and then they've put his name in just real small letters right there. And then some of them were just entire T-shirts that, you know, maybe they had it for the funeral or something, and they just cut it out and sent that in. So we just cut it down to size and worked with that.
Yeah, that's a really great idea for people that are very much like, I want to do something, but I don't really want to put a lot of thought into it. So here's the person's clothes.
Yeah. This one up here, can you see? Yeah, this one was totally embroidered. It has her name, and it just has some things about her. And then this one right here was a real challenge. It was silver fabric. I think it was from a costume or a dance uniform type thing. And they've embroidered things about her all over it.
Wow.
And it's a little puffy, but it's fine.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. The ones that are silk, there's one up there that's silk. That was a little intimidating because I was afraid we were going to ruin it.
Yeah.
But, it's fine too.
Is there a better material that you prefer over others?
Well, I would rather not have silk, but, we'll work with whatever you give us. And some fabric does tend to stretch and grow over time. And we were asked not to quilt over the blocks. So, when you would typically make a regular quilt, you might do an all over design for your quilting. But here we only quilt on the sashing, which is, the part in between the blocks. So that's why they get a little puffy and loose. But if the fabric, you think it might grow, then it might be good to pick something else. Now, if you send in a T-shirt, we can put a backing on that. Like we have an iron-on stuff for, because we make T-shirt quilts all the time.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah, so that's fine. One other thing I would say is proofread, proofread, proofread.
Really?
You know, give it to a friend to look at, make sure you got the dates right. You spell things. If you put something on there, make sure it's grammatically correct, because it's going to be there forever, and you know, you don't want a mistake on it.